to come on and chat.
Grab your glasses, family. It's time for us to get started. I'm so excited. Sitting up here, Kid Magic Rock. Shots out. Here we go. Drink your water. Come on, drink your water. But first, take your breath and drink some water. Take your breath. Take your breath and drink some water. Take your breath. Take your breath and drink some water. Take your breath. Drink. Or should I say, breathe, then
drink. What's up, family? What's up? I want to make sure that you know that you are now standing in the congregation of the mighty, the home of the stubborn minority, the place of your calling. This is Gye-Nyame Journey Media. Oops, my fault. Wrong one. I am your host, Brother Tim. Of course, you know this is a heart of a Simba Productions. Oh, Simba ain't ruined today. Simba on strike. Oh, there you go. Well, we strive to blow up your old paradigms. All right, family, we are about to go and get it. I am experimenting with live streaming, so I am going to increase my screen so that I may do a live stream. Let me see how I'm gonna do this. All right, there we go. Boom. All right, let's go on, and I'm gonna experiment with the live. I'm just experimenting. I promise. It's just experimentation. We're gonna stream on YouTube. The channel. We're gonna stream on Tim Gye-Nyame. The title of the thing we are streaming will be very simply, let me go and get this title: The Price of Peace and Innovating the Past, the Trap of Stagnation. All right, I'm almost done, family. Bear with me. Yeah, I know I know I should have this stuff done before we do it, but it is what it is. It is what it is. Oh, create. Oh, hold on. Create new event. Boom. Here we go. I could do it private, but I'm not really a private person like that. We're going to go public. We're going to let it fly. Right? Start. Boom. All right. So it'll be streamed over to YouTube. All right, family. I want to welcome you in. Welcome everyone in as we go and we do our thing. I'm going over. I need to make sure. Let me minimize my screen so that I can make sure that I'm able to catch my family when they come in, if anybody come in. All right. So, let's see. Boom, boom, boom. All right. Anyway, just holler if somebody come in from the other side. So, first off, I want to make sure you like, subscribe, share. Thank you for joining us here on the Daily Spark. Family. Most importantly, make a comment because I want to know how you are enjoying the content as we continue to grow and try new things, right? So, first, before we get into it, the title of today's show is very simply The Price of Peace, Innovating Past the Trap of Stagnation. And stagnation is a trap, family. But also, we want to be aware that regardless, we still have the ability to make some choices in some of this stuff. But anyway, before we get too deep into the show, I want to make sure I give you the proverb of the day. Those of you that are joining us on YouTube or maybe joining us in the future, you won't be able to hear the sound effects because I haven't perfected that skill yet. I'm going to figure out how to integrate it. I haven't done that yet. But anyway, here's the sound effects for those that's listening on Spreaker. If you really want the full effect, come on over to Spreaker. Join us over there as I do my show. But I can't do it live on Spreaker. So I want people to have the live experience. So because I thrive on that, right? But anyway, all right, so here we go. The proverb of the day: peace is costly, but it is worth the expense. That is a Kenyan proverb. Peace is costly, but it's worth the expense. And family, yes, it is, right? We got to understand a lot of times we think that us surrendering will bring peace, but it never brings peace. Us just stopping brings peace. No, we have to be willing to pay the price for peace. And in my favorite book, The African Openness to the Tree of Life, my favorite proverb says, those who are not willing to sacrifice will not be fulfilled, right? That's only part of it. I'm not doing the whole proverb, but you cannot truly be fulfilled until you make a sacrifice. What do we sacrifice? We got to sacrifices. We got to sacrifice those things that no longer serve us. We got to sacrifice those parts of ourselves that no longer serve us. We got to start sacrificing those things in our lives that no longer serve us. Peace is very costly, and we ain't talking about money. Family, we got to be very clear. A lot of us, we only are able to equate just the cost with money, but it's not just the money. It's much deeper than the money, and we have to be very clear about that. All right, because the money, right? The money really, when it comes down to it, is a myth, is an illusion. Of course, it's a real illusion that we can actually use because we believe that we can use it, and because of millions and millions of people believe, maybe even billions, believe that it's valuable. It is valuable because because we are. That's how you see the Ubuntu loop working, right? I believe in this, so we believe in this, and because we believe in it, I believe in it, and I will sacrifice my life for these trinkets, right? But what if we start applying that energy to other things, right? We say we want peace, but are we willing to pay the price? Because it's not about us going out here and smashing our enemies. No. That's too easy. It's not about us going out here and slapping somebody and telling them to shut up. No. It's about us being bold enough to get up and walk away from those things that no longer serve us. Whatever type of noun, N-O-U-N it is, whether it's a person, place, or thing. If it's no longer serving you, if it's no longer helping you move forward, you need to get up and you need to walk away. That is the cost, right? The personal sacrifices that you have to make in order to have peace. But let me tell you, once you make that, it's worth the expense, family. You will be so surprised how peaceful, how beautiful peace really is. All right, so that's the proverb of the day. We did that one. Let's move now to ancestral algorithm, right? And we putting all this stuff together so that on a daily basis you are able to focus on your culture, focus on things that come from your culture. And I forgot to say this. I want to say great Kuumba to each and every last one of you. All right, we are on Kuumba, right? We are not only on Kuumba today, we are on Kuumba, yes, y'all, and we don't stop. So shouts out to all the Kuumba babies. But we are in the week of Ujamaa. We want to clap it up for all the Ujamaa babies because we are learning key lessons this week about Ujamaa. Ujamaa is the principle of focus for us this week. Kuumba is the focus for us today. All right, that creativity, right? But Ujamaa is the ultimate lesson we are supposed to be getting within this week. All right, so going back to the ancestral algorithm for today. Now, we're putting this together. Once again, I have to stress this. We're putting all this together so that people can plug into our culture, right? Our African-centered culture, right? Regardless of what part of the continent you want to come from, we need to start learning to look at the world through our lens, right? And we need to start having these mental loops in our mind that are running to be coming from us. So, hold on, I think somebody just joined us. Let me see what's going on. We might be blessed. Who in the house? Are you still? Oh, yeah, stay in the car. What's going on? My God. They about to kick me off the car. Oh, okay. All right. But anyway, how you going to kick me off my own damn car? I'm going to change those times. I'm going to come back. I'm going to change that. But anyway. So, The ancestral algorithm for Kuumba teaches us how to overcome stagnation and the program of destruction. All right. When we are not using our creativity, right? When we are pressing it down, right? When we are ignoring it, it moves towards destruction. Either we are using that principle, either we are using that energy to create, or we are allowing it to become destructive. How are you channeling your Kuumba energy, right? So the reason for this ancestral algorithm is to overcome stagnation and a program of destruction. Once we start letting our creativity lay stagnant, right, start becoming destructive, start leaning towards destructive things. So how are you not being stagnant, right? Now, here is the algorithm, the actual algorithm for the day. Get ready. Stagnation is a choice. I choose the flow of innovation. Now, remember what I tell y'all, family. You got to say this stuff with emotion, right? You got to, I, right? No, my fault. Stagnation is a choice. Say it. Couldn't hear you. Could you hear him, Anime? Anime couldn't hear y'all. Anime could not hear y'all. Stagnation is a choice. I choose the flow of innovation. Once again, stagnation is a choice. I choose the flow of innovation. Now, this is something that you could come back to every day. When your mind start flowing into stuff that is not directly connected to you and where you want to go, come back to this. Stagnation is a choice. I choose the flow of innovation. Use that that emotion, use that emotional energy in this, right? To help lock it into you so that you got something to come back to, because you always have stuff from their culture to go back to, right? Little sayings that pop up in your head, or little stressors that pop up in your head. We're trying to give you something else. Now, the Ubuntu loop, and for those that don't know what the Ubuntu loop is, I got a couple of articles on it. But when you look at the Ubuntu loop, I am because we are, and we are because I am, right? And we are, I am because we are, and we are because I am, and I am, what y'all got it. I am because we are because I am, and we are because I am. No, we are because I am, and blah, blah, blah. Got it confused, but y'all know what I'm saying. I am because we are, and we are because I am, right? So the flow is, it goes from I to the we. It goes from the I am to the we are. Back, and that we are empowers the I am. And then that I am adds to the we are, which empowers the we are. The we are goes back, empowers the I am. So we got these little mental loops going on. So I am, the loop, the word that we're focusing on today is dynamic. And the way we're just defining dynamic is constantly evolving, energetic and highly adaptable in manifestation. Constantly evolving, energetic and highly adaptable in manifestation. I am dynamic because we are dynamic, and we are dynamic because I am dynamic. I am dynamic. You are dynamic because we are dynamic, and we are dynamic because you are dynamic. And the more dynamic you become, the more dynamic we become. And the more dynamic we become, the more dynamic you become. You see the loop there? I am dynamic because we are dynamic, and we are dynamic because I am dynamic. This is a loop that you can work with all day in your head, because that I and that we come from a culture that centers the we, not that centers the I. You have a lot of these fake cultures that, I ain't call them fake. We got a lot of these cultures that fake you out and get you to think that the I is at the center. But the I is not at the center. Even when we talk about this Western civilization, they will convince everybody that the I is at the center. But the thing that empowers the I for them as well is that we. They got this thing locked down. They don't want you to plug into it. They don't want you to understand that the we that you build supports the I that you want to be. There is no you without the we. You're just blank out here, right? You can't defend nothing by yourself. The we is the institutions that we build. The we is the families that we build. The we is the tribe that comes and stands by your side in times of trouble. The nation that backs you up. That's the we, right? The we is the group that stop people from fleecing you. The we is the ones that protect you. The we is the one that goes to arms when your rights are violated. That's the we. Everybody else understands that. But for some reason, we honestly believe that in some form or fashion, some mystic energy is going to come to our defense when the mystic energy comes from the we that we are involved with. All right, so I am dynamic because we are dynamic, and we are dynamic because I am dynamic, and we are using the definition of dynamic as constantly evolving, energetic, and highly adaptable in manifestation. I'm dynamic. I'm constantly evolving. I'm energetic. And I'm highly adaptable at manifesting things. You understand? All right. So now let's move into the haikus of the day, and then we'll get into the script. All right. So the haikus of the day. I woke up late, man, and I wasn't really, I had people interfering with my creative streak. You know what I'm saying? Shh. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, peace is highly priced, but very much worth the cost. We should pay freely. In our community, family, we want peace. There's a cost. We should pay freely. Peace is a beautiful thing to have. All right. Right? And once again, when I say the price, I'm not talking about that money stuff. Understand? Remember that. The day is rainy. Time seems to be moving slow. I will enjoy it. This beautiful rainy day, man. And I got outside, did my exercises, and it was just dripping on me, and the rain was just coming down. And man, it was just so relaxing to be able to go and get into state out there, right? Listen to the birds singing. Well, actually, when it's drizzling like that, the birds ain't singing, but just to listen to the drops hitting was real calming. Was peace, right? Was peace. Last one, stagnation is a choice, so I choose innovation so that I can build. Family, we need innovators, right? We need innovators, right? Not those that, because a lot of it, and a lot of times we get a lot of stagnant people in the circle because we appear to be moving. And those stagnant people want to jump on something that's moving, not realizing that their inertia is slowing down the whole damn train. You have to change your mindset. You got to move from stagnation. And remember, today in the algorithm, we say stagnation is a choice. Many of us are stagnant because we choose to be stagnant. We're not moving because we don't want to move. We're choosing to be stagnant. I'm telling you right now to choose the flow of innovation. Choose to move. All right, so now let's move into it so I get to the script and get y'all up out of here because I know I'm late in the day. Let me make sure everything's going. Let me see. Hold on. Where we at? All right, it's flowing. Okay, everything's still flowing. I should have been recording it. I should have been recording it. Let me record. I'm going to record the script part. Let me go on and record the script part real quick. Recording. Include captions and recording. I don't want captions and recording. Start. Make sure everyone is ready. Start. All right. Ain't got nobody on here. Let me check. Let me see if there's any messages. Nope. We ain't got nobody stepping in, but they're welcome to step in if they want to. Those of you that's on the Telegram. Actually, I'm doing this for the Telegram, so I think I might record it, and then if I choose to share it, I might share it. I'm still working on how that's going to work out, but here we go. The price of peace, innovating past the trap of stagnation. If I look like I'm looking over here, I am because I'm reading the script, and then I come back. I need to change my name on here too. Anyway, here is the actual haiku for the day. Y'all let me know if I'm haikuing. Of course, Anime will let me know if I'm haikuing or not. Let's see. Cut away the dead. The fire burns inside the stone. Create and be free. Is that brother haikuing? Oh, anime agrees. I am haikuing, right? Go on, take a picture. That's right. That's right. Take a picture. Yep. When they say haiku, that's right. Take a picture. When they say haiku, they talking about Brother Hatim. That's right. Take a picture. Come on. One more. Come on. One more. There we go. One more. There we go. Right. When they say haiku, they talking about Brother Hatim. Right. They talking about Brother Hatim. Let me turn off my alarm because it's 12 noon. And see, it don't even care.
It's noon. Right now in Whitehall, it's 78
I'm going to have to
degrees.
write them and say, you need to have a function and say, do you mind if I interrupt for a second? Well, anyway, actually, you could do that. Actually, I should be able to program my calendar to be able to do that. All right, so here we go. Pull up a chair on the porch. And remember, fam, we're trying to build this porch, so support Gye-Nyame Journey, right? Support the Daily Spark. Become a candle lighter. That's one of the supporters on our Spreaker station. You could do that, or you could go on and put something in the tip jar. You could buy me a coffee, right? Because one of the things I'm realizing as I get older, if you don't ask, people don't know, right? So I'm asking, right? Go and support what we doing, right? Not only so that we can go and get the porch, because we want a nice Gye-Nyame porch. I want a Gye-Nyame porch so I can sit down and we can have some real conversation. We can have some real discussion. You know what I'm saying? Also, we want the Gye-Nyame Clubhouse, right? We also want to be able to make sure that we are able to get these young people to Simba and Simsa camp, as well as the camps that we do here. And maybe we'll be able to teach other people around the country how to do camps. And then we'll all be able to come together as Simba and Simsa. But, and also purchase land so that we can have a Simba and Simsa camp whenever we want to. You understand what I'm saying? Because like I said, it's all very possible. It's just a matter of us shifting our priorities and shifting how we view ourselves, shifting the we's that we think we are. Move from the we's we think we are to the we's we actually are, to empower the eyes that's out here that's moving around, right? Because there's plenty of people out here willing to do the work. And there's plenty of people out here trying to do the work, right? But it's just the we that we're pulling on is kind of dragging us down. We got a lot of people that's choosing stagnation rather than building. All right. Settle your breath down into your belly. Ground your feet firmly into the earth and let us sit with this morning ancestral medicine. Of course, today is Kuumba, and we are stepping directly into the dynamic transformative frequency of Kuumba, glowing in the fierce, life-giving vibration of orange. Shouts out to all of the Kuumba babies. Shouts out. Applause is going on for those of you on the YouTube side. Y'all can't hear that, but it's cool. We'll get it together. The ancestors have handed us our algorithm for today's walk. We already talked about it. Stagnation is a choice. I choose the flow of innovation. Let us be completely honest about what stagnation really is. When our minds get ensnared in the lower emotional triad of mad, sad, and scared, stagnation presents itself as safety. We tell ourselves that staying still, clinging to outdated habits, or tolerating dysfunctional environments is better than facing the discomfort of growth. We wait, we hesitate, and we allow our creative life force, Ashe, the creative outforce, the Ashe, to rot in the stagnant waters of hesitation, self-doubt, and fear. But stagnation is never a passive accident. It is an active choice to stay small. It is a decision to surrender your divine creative power to routine, blame, shame, and guilt. Right? Kuumba teaches us that you are a creator, not a consumer of circumstances. In the Gye-Nyame Journey system, true self-mastery is rooted in the sacred practice of via Negativa, the discipline of subtraction. You do not innovate by adding more frantic hustle, superficial trends, or mental clutter to an already overwhelmed spirit. You innovate by stripping away the heavy buildup of fear of failure, perfectionism, and borrowed scripts, like we're trying to replace with the algorithms in the loop, and borrow scripts that convince you that you have no alternatives. When you cut the noise, drop the weight, and clear the blockage, your natural creative river flows uninterrupted. Look at how the ancient wisdom of today's Proverbs meets this truth. Peace is costly. but it's worth the expense. That's from the Kenyan people. True peace, both internal serenity and collective harmony is never free. True peace, both internal serenity and collective harmony is never free, nor is it merely the passive absence of tension. Fake peace accepts stagnation to avoid confrontation. Let me say that again. If you felt that one, throw in the ashe on that. Fake peace accepts stagnation to avoid confrontation. Real peace requires an investment. It costs the pride of the ego. It costs the comfort of familiar excuses. It costs the courage. It costs the courage to dismantle dysfunctional systems and forge new pathways. On this day in history, August 15th, 1945, the devastation of World War II came to a close, reminding the world that securing enduring peace demands immense collective resolve, unyielding sacrifice, and active rebuilding. On the same day, in 1947, India reclaimed its sovereignty through disciplined, non-violent resistance, proving that true peace and freedom are born from unshakable inner alignment and collective innovation. On August 15, 1960, the Republic of Congo broke the chains of colonial rule, demonstrating that sovereign peace requires the courage to pay the price of self-determination. Everything has a price. Even when it's say free, in some form or fashion, your ass is paying for it. And if it's free, you might need to be careful. All right. In our journey as Africans in America, we have often inherited layers of generational survival armor. That armor kept our ancestors alive through the Mayafa, the plantations, and Jim Crow. But when armor becomes so heavy that you cannot move, it stops protecting you and starts imprisoning you. Kuumba is not about inventing a new mask or piling on more survival tactics. Kuumba is about scraping off the buildup of shame, blame, and guilt that convinces our brothers and sisters that we are permanently broken. Think about the traditional wood carver in the village. The carver does not create the figure inside the wood by gluing extra bark and branches onto the log. The figure of strength, dignity, and beauty is already resting inside the mahogany. The carver takes the chisel, strikes with precision, and chips away everything that is not that statue. That is subtractive. That's the subtractive method, ultimately. That is via Negativa of self-mastery. When you sit on the porch of your own mind, what false narratives do you need to chisel away today? What borrowed fields have you been carrying as if they were family heirlooms? You were taught that being creative means being an entertainer or producing a commodity for someone else's marketplace. But Kuumba is cosmic alignment. It is the divine spark within that allows a mother to turn meager leftovers into a feast that feeds the soul of a household. It is the ingenuity of an entrepreneur that looks at an empty, blighted city lot and envisions a thriving community garden that nourishes generations. It is the brother who puts down the bottle, walks away from the street corner, and decides to sculpt a whole new legacy for his sons and daughters. Is that right? In our text, the Player's Pyramid, the Warrior's Handbook for Life's Journey, and the 7 Sticks, The Secret of Millennium 7. That's title of 7 Sticks, The Secret of Millennium 7. The Baba, which is not published. I haven't published it. Only certain people have read it, and it's available. You just have to find it. And Haku by Hatim, which is also called Freedom Within Limits. True power is never pulled from outside sources. It is released from your potential center. When we move up the pyramid from faith into creativity, we must realize that our imagination is an altar. What are you sacrificing upon it? If you sacrifice your energy to fear and stagnation, you will reap a harvest of regret. But if you prune the dead branches of hesitation and pay the upfront expense of disciplined change, authentic peace is your reward. Kuumba demands that we leave our families, our spaces, and our tribes more beautiful and beneficial than we inherited them. You cannot make a space beautiful while hoarding the trash of yesterday. You cannot paint a new masterpiece over an unwashed canvas full of yesterday's grind. Today release the illusion that you must do more or become someone else. You are already endowed with the divine ashe. Type ashe if you feel that. Share what is not you. Drop the weight of old grudges. Scrape off the buildup of self-doubt. When you declare stagnation is a choice, I choose the flow of innovation. You are stepping up to pay the price for authentic peace. Light the fire of Kuumba. Innovate beyond your obstacles and step boldly into the rhythm of peace, power, and joy. All right, family, listen. I'm going to say this. Go to the description. I will have to go on YouTube and write a description. I'm just experimenting with this. But in the description, you'll find a link. In that link, you'll find access to the t-shirts. You'll find access to my author's page. You could become a supporter. You could tip me. You could buy me a coffee. You could do whatever it is you need to do. All that information is there. If you want your Nguza Saba narrative map, you can also do that. But hey, this is Brother Tim, and that means, you know what that means, right? You are now listening to Gye-Nyame Journey Radio. This is a Heart of a Symbol production. Where we strive to blow up your old paradigms.